Hello crochet fans, Tashia Butterfield here, alpaca rancher and crochet instructor. Welcome to Forever Bliss Crochet. Last week we talked about how to find crochet groups. Now that it's March, it is National Crochet Month, and it is the time to be talking about how do we share crochet with other people. Well, maybe you've looked for a group, they're not available to you. Whether there are some groups there that you just don't quite fit in, or they don't meet at a time or a place that suits you. There are situations where you might feel like it's best for you to start a group. This is something that I did myself in 2010. If you remember my How a New Year's Resolution Changed My Life video, that was about I decided to get off the couch, crocheting by myself in front of the TV, and find other crocheters in which to enjoy our art with together and to kind of share the love of crochet. And in my journey to find such a group, it didn't quite work out as I expected, and I ended up realizing that there was a need in my area to actually start a crochet group. If you're interested in my story, I'll link it up in the corner above and down in the description below, so you can go back and watch that whole story. But it turned into a whole series, a sequence of events that totally changed the direction of my life, and actually this channel is a result of one of those things. Now that you've decided to start your own crochet group, these are things that you need to think about. First of all, what is your vision? What is the driving force that brought you to this realization that you should start a crochet group? What is it that you want to accomplish by having this group? Once you're clear on the vision and the mission that you want to have with this group, start to talk to other crocheters that you know. You're going to find like-minded people or people that you've inspired with your vision that want to be a part of this group. These people are going to be the foundation of your new group. The next thing is to find a location. It could be a community center, a library, a church, maybe a coffee shop, or your local yarn store. Find the environment and the availability that you feel is right for your group. If using your local yarn store seems appealing to you, make sure that they don't already have a time of the week in which they invite people to come and work on their projects. This might be in conflict with that, and you need to have your expectations clear right from the start. Sit down with the owner and discuss what the needs are for your group, what your vision is, what you want to accomplish, what you are going to need from her in terms of where to meet, how often, how long are your meetings, and then are there any expectations from the store on your group? Would the owner like purchases made there? Only yarn from that store or tools from that store, that type of thing. Now, local yarn stores, the environment is certainly ideal for a crochet group, but there's so many other factors that come into what your group is going to need and do that may be in conflict with that business. So you'll have to decide the balance of that, if it's worth it, or if it's better to go with a place like a library, in which the environment is pretty bland, but there might be more freedom in what you actually do during your meetings, how often, and all those types of things. Once you have your location set, then you can decide on the date and time of your very first meeting. Next, you'll want to promote that meeting. Get the word out. Try and find fiber artists, crocheters in your area that would be interested in this group. Obviously, social media is a huge marketing tool these days. So, your own profile, any local groups, buy-sell trade groups, any place that you can advertise events going on or fiber arts groups that are already online in your area. There's websites like meetup.com. Back in the day when I started my group, that's the forum that I used because I could set an event and it went out to people within a certain radius. There's online forums, especially like RAVELRY.com. Many of you are already on there. If you don't know about Ravelry, I have a tutorial on how to use it. Again, look up in the corner and down in the description box below a link to that video, but it's pretty much like Facebook for yarn people. And there are forums on there, so there's definitely a place there that you can promote your meeting to people who are local or that you know their local people as a part of a larger group. You could even start your own Ravelry group right on there and attract people that way. Depending on your local community, how people best get information, it may be your newspaper. Now, I live in a more rural community where the newspaper will be very effective in this. However, when I started my group, I was in Chicago. There is no way an ad in the newspaper would have done me any good. So, decide in your community what's the best way to communicate. You might also want to consider flyers. You could put them up in the local stores, the libraries, wherever there's like bulletin boards for your community. My grocery store will let me put little flyers in the bags or give them to put in the bags. Whatever little programs and perks that your local community, the businesses in your community would let you use to get the word out about this. Now that you've got your marketing clear, you can turn to deciding what is going to happen at your first meeting. First of all, discuss the purpose of your group. Now you could decide that it's just a social group, it's only for fun, you'll just get together and each person work on their projects and just kind of talk. Maybe you want to have dedicated times and meetings where you're developing a skill. Someone knows how to do a certain thing and they're willing to show everybody else. And you're promoting that meeting to work on that specific skill. Maybe you want to teach other people how to crochet, so you're going to host a beginning crocheter type of thing, or invite anyone to come at any time and you're prepared to teach people right from the start, wherever they're at, and they get to work at their own pace. You can also talk about, is there any desire to become a local chapter of the Crochet Guild of America? Now, Crochet Guild of America is our national guild, and the whole purpose is to educate people about crochet. So teach people how to crochet and help all crocheters develop their skills. If you want to become a CGOA chapter, then you need to be prepared to promote the love of crochet to anyone and everyone. Education is a huge part of what the guild does, so that is what you would be doing as well. You're going to need to have regular, official meetings, like chapter meetings, typically once a month. So the group that I started, once we became a guild chapter, the first meeting of every month was the official meeting where we covered certain things and we had minutes and voted on stuff and that type of thing. And the other meetings throughout the month were just socially fun, kind of sharing crochet with each other type of stuff. To become a local chapter of the CGOA, at least one member of your group needs to be a national member. So this is someone who's already paid the dues, the annual dues, and could submit the application on behalf of the group. I will link details to CGOA in the description box down below. There is a lot of details about what you can do as a group and how to apply to be a local chapter. At your first meeting, you also want to discuss expectations. How often are you going to meet? Will it always be in the same place? How do you want the meetings organized? That type of thing. Some of the stuff you may have already set because of wherever you've chosen to meet, like the local yarn store. You might have already discussed those things with the owner or the organizer of a community center or whatever it was. But now you get to discuss it with your potential members. They can give their feedback and you can adjust anything that you feel you need to. And finally, at your first meeting, you want to discuss leadership roles. This is an opportunity for people to step up and take more responsibility and less responsibility off of your shoulders, so you're not carrying the whole burden of this thing. And for the first month or so, you may feel like you really would like to, but I suggest raising up a team to work with you. You'll need someone to organize the meetings, and this may include setting up or tearing down depending on the situation, location that you have chosen. If you're going to be doing any teaching, you need to organize that. Who's going to teach? What are they going to teach? And then also have a marketing person. We have so many options for marketing these days, and it's really best to have one person really focused on that. Maybe you get a Facebook group or a Facebook page, a Ravelry forum going on, a whole slew of things that you may want to do. The whole purpose of this is to have fun. So however it happens, it's totally going to be unique for your location, your vision, and your purpose with this group. It being National Crochet Month this March, it is a perfect time to start a group. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and remember to subscribe to the channel. If you have suggestions for other video topics, please leave me a comment below. To know when new videos are coming out and to get discounts on my newly released online courses, you'll want to get on my mailing list, and that link is also down in the description box. I'll see you in the next video.